In the small town of Riverton, where dusty streets and old brick buildings painted the landscape, basketball wasn't just a game, it was a way of life. Every evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, the sound of bouncing balls echoed from the cracked concrete courts in the heart of town. Kids played with worn-out sneakers, rusty hoops, and dreams bigger than the town itself. Among those kids was a boy named Jason Carter. At 13, Jason was shorter than most of his friends, with wild curly hair and a fire in his eyes that never faded. While others played for fun, Jason played with purpose. His father, a former high school basketball star whose dreams were crushed by an injury, had taught Jason everything he knew about the game. They'd spend hours practicing in their driveway even when it rained. "It's not about how tall you are," his father would say. "It's about how big your heart is." Jason took those words to heart. He wasn't the fastest, the tallest, or the strongest, but he had something no one else did: determination. He woke up before dawn to practice, shot hundreds of free throws until his arms ached, and watched professional games, studying every move, every pass, every play. By the time Jason reached high school, he was still underestimated. His small stature made coaches doubt him, and many of his teammates overlooked him. But Jason never let that stop him. During a crucial game against Riverton's biggest rival, the team was down by 10 points with just 5 minutes left. Jason's coach hesitated, but finally gave him a chance to play. The moment Jason stepped onto the court, everything changed. His quick footwork, sharp passes, and fearless shots shocked everyone. He darted through defenders, made impossible layups, and even hit a three-pointer at the buzzer to win the game. The crowd erupted that night. Jason Carter wasn't just the small kid from Riverton, he was a rising star. Word spread fast. Jason led his team to victory after victory, breaking records and earning a scholarship to a prestigious college. But success wasn't easy. College basketball was tougher, the players faster, and the competition fiercer. There were days Jason felt like quitting, overwhelmed by self-doubt and exhaustion. But he remembered his father's words and he pushed through. In his final year, Jason's team made it to the national championship. The stadium was packed, the lights blinding, and the pressure overwhelming. The game was intense, with both teams fighting for every point. In the final seconds, with the score tied, Jason had the ball. The crowd held its breath as he dodged defenders, jumped, and released the ball. Time seemed to slow as it soared through the air. The crowd exploded with cheers. Jason had done it. He had led his team to victory. But for Jason, it wasn't just about the championship. It was about the journey, the struggles, and the lessons learned along the way. Years later, Jason became a professional basketball player, inspiring millions with his story. He never forgot where he came from. He returned to Riverton, rebuilt the old basketball courts, and started a youth program to help kids chase their dreams, just like he did. Jason's legacy wasn't just about points scored or games won. It was about heart, perseverance, and the belief that no dream is too big if you're willing to fight for it. Jason Carter's name soon became known, not just in Riverton, but around the world. His skill on the court was undeniable, but what truly set him apart was his resilience and leadership. Despite the fame, the endorsements, and the bright lights of professional arenas, Jason remained humble. He knew that basketball was more than just a game, it was a platform to inspire, to teach, and to give back. After winning his first professional championship, Jason stood on the podium, holding the trophy high. Cameras flashed, reporters shouted questions, but when asked about his success, Jason simply said, "This isn't just my victory, it belongs to every kid who's ever been told they're too small, too slow, or not good enough. It belongs to Riverton, to my family, and to every dreamer out there." But life wasn't always smooth. During his third season, Jason faced his biggest challenge yet. A devastating injury during a crucial playoff game left him with a torn ligament. Doctors weren't sure if he'd ever play at the same level again. The media speculated about his career being over. Fans were heartbroken. Lying in the hospital bed, Jason stared at the ceiling, his mind racing with doubt. For the first time, fear crept into his heart. Not fear of failure, but fear of losing the very thing that had defined him. But then he remembered the long talks with his father, the early mornings on the cracked Riverton court, and the fire that had always burned inside him. "It's not about how you fall," he whispered to himself. "It's about how you rise." Jason threw himself into recovery with the same passion he'd always had for basketball. The process was grueling. Endless physical therapy sessions, painful exercises, and moments where progress seemed invisible. But Jason never gave up. He pushed through every setback, fueled by the memory of his younger self, the boy who believed anything was possible. After nearly a year, Jason made his comeback. His first game back was in Riverton, where his team played an exhibition match to support his youth program. The arena was packed with people from all walks of life, from kids holding signs that read, "Welcome back, Jason," and older fans wearing his jersey with pride. When Jason stepped onto the court, the crowd erupted. But this time, it wasn't just about his talent. It was about his story, the story of a kid from a small town who rose, fell, and rose again. The game was intense, but Jason played with heart, scoring the winning basket with just seconds left on the clock. The crowd went wild, but as the final buzzer echoed, Jason didn't raise his hands in triumph. Instead, he walked to the center of the court, knelt down, and touched the floor. A silent thank you to the game that had given him everything. After retiring from professional basketball, Jason dedicated his life to coaching and mentoring young athletes. His Carter Academy became a beacon of hope for kids worldwide, teaching not just basketball skills, but life lessons about resilience, teamwork, and courage. In the end, Jason Carter's legacy wasn't just written in record books or championship banners. It lived in the hearts of every kid who believed in themselves because of his story. Greatness, Jason often said, isn't about how high you can jump or how many points you score. It's about how many lives you touch along the way,